Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So tonight it's just me. I'm gonna do a weekly recap or bi-weekly recap because I guess it has been a little bit of time since Brandon and I have been on to kind of explain exactly what's been going on in our business. So where we left off last time, as most of you know that watch us, we had a tenant end a lease early and decided to buy a house and move out. And so we were super excited for that process for her. However, with that and a tenant moving out and a tenant moving in comes a lot of work, and that this process was exactly that, and it's something that we continue to work through. So the tenant that moved out on a Monday. I was able to get in there a day later and start some cleaning and some maintenance and getting people scheduled to get some repairs done. However, the new tenants moving in were in kind of a little time crunch, and they were coming from out of state and needed a place to live pretty quick. So they were moving in at the end of the week. So it gave us very little time to kind of get the repairs and the people in there to make the repairs. Long story short, I went in, did a clean, what we could, and explained that to the tenant because of the circumstances. They still agreed to move in. I met with them at the end of last week. We did kind of a walkthrough. We made some plans for some repairs and kind of left it at that. Today I met them over there again with our contractor. We had an electrician in there today fixing some things. And so I'm hopeful here in the next week or so, once our contractors can finish up what needs to be done, we will be kind of settled for the time being, and kind of will have that property under control. One of the big things that I've had kind of in this takeaway of a very quick turnover is, while a quick turnover is awesome financially, it is a lot of work when repairs need to be done and inspections need to be done, and getting people in there to do repairs when people are trying to live there is very difficult, and trying to coordinate schedules. And so my biggest advice, and Brandon and I's biggest kind of lesson learned in this process, is while we love a good turnover, to kind of put the brakes on that and allow us some time to get in there and truly, do an accurate inspection and get repairs noted and get people in there while the property is empty. It just, when you look at it, it is so much easier. It's less stress. You're not trying to finagle, 3 different schedules to try to get people in there. And so that's just something that we will be changing moving forward. And it takes sometimes a situation for you to kind of learn that lesson. And so we have, and so now we know exactly kind of what we will be doing. The other kind of big thing we've got going on is another one of our properties, their lease will be coming up at the end of this month. And so I reached out to them and just asked kind of what their plans were, so we kind of knew. And they are choosing to go to a month-to-month lease. They are going to be starting the home buying process. So we are super excited for them and this kind of next chapter. However, we are really sad because we absolutely love these tenants. They have been great. And so I hate to see the good ones go. But we are absolutely excited for them, and I hope they find their dream home. So we hopefully will be posting that one in the coming months, to find a new tenant. But like I said, lesson learned, it'll be a slower process. Brandon and I have been pretty short to the social media platform lately. I'm gonna be straight up honest with that. Like, it's been kind of like the last thing on our priority list. Brandon has been working an absolute crazy amount of hours. He just got done working at the holiday weekend, and I'm pretty sure he was at the hospital more than he was at home. So the hours that he was home, he was, of course, playing PlayStation with the boys and relaxing and kind of taking care of himself so he didn't get burnt out and run down. So we're slowly kind of getting back into the groove of things. And he was at work tonight, and I said, you know what, like, I can manage the weekly recap here and kind of just let you guys know what has been going on. On top of him working a ton, the boys have been back to school now for just a couple weeks. So kind of getting back into that routine of bedtimes and packing lunches and homework, and it's a lot. It's a lot. For all you moms and dads out there, like, like, it's a lot. You're exhausted by the time you get home at the end of the day, and then you've got all the things to do to prepare for tomorrow, and then by the time they go to bed, like, I'm ready for bed. So we're just having to try to kind of find a new routine, and in time we will. So the other thing that we're kind of balancing right now is our little guy had surgery yesterday. It went great. But he will be home recovering for at least a week, maybe 2, kind of depending on how he's doing. So it's just kind of another thing at this moment that we're kind of working on and trying to balance. And so I'm hoping now that surgery's over and he's on the path to recovery here that we can, I can film some videos from home, over the next few days and have some stuff to share with you guys. So that's kind of it that I can think of. Oh, actually, no. Pause. Another piece of advice I have for you guys, another lesson learned in this process is don't lose sight of your contractor's projects. So we had a situation in one of our rental properties here. We put new windows in about a year ago. In the process of installing windows, 2 of the windows were cracked. They were functionable windows, but they were cracked. So contractors reordered both of those windows, and unfortunately they went on back order. And so we had tenants in there at the time. They communicated with us pretty well, kind of the status of the windows, if somebody was there, if somebody wasn't there. But between them moving out, our new tenant moving in, and her moving out, it was discovered that those windows still hadn't been fixed. Actually, the one window completely fell out and smashed all over the kitchen floor. So that was a great text message to get. So long story short, they fixed the big window pretty quickly, but it ultimately came down to they thought it had been done, we thought it had been done, and it hadn't been done, and everybody kind of lost sight on like where the project was. And so something that, I'm going to be more diligent on as kind of the property manager is making sure that things are done and taken care of completely, and making sure I'm the one following up. I mean, our tenants are awesome and they'll take care of so much of the stuff, and working with contractors, letting them in, maintenance, things like that. But these bigger projects, windows specifically, like really making sure that anything that maybe wasn't finished or that we're waiting on is absolutely finished and kind of crossed off the list before it kind of goes off our radar. So that is something that we had a lot of trust, I guess, in our contractors and our maintenance people, and it just was kind of that reminder that we do need to do some follow-up, more often to make sure. So that's kind of it, quick turnover, a little bit chaotic. Tenants moving on eventually, Brandon working a ton, and me just trying to figure it all out from home with 2 kids that go to school, and life is busy. So if you guys have any questions, please drop them in the comments below. Please like and subscribe to our channel, and we will see you soon. Bye-bye.